Hey Flosstube, Pam here, stitching between the lines, stitchingbetweenthelines.blogspot.com. Anyway, I'm back because I have some progress and a finish, yay, and some stuff like that. So anyway, if you've known me from my blogging days, I very rarely show progress on anything, like a progress photo. I just focus mostly on showing you when it's done. Maybe sometimes if there's something to talk about, I will mention it or take a progress photo, but I'm not really good at that, so I tend not to. I'm going to try to do better. I actually took pictures of everything this morning, so I would have them, because I'm going to master the inserting a photo thing any day now, I'm sure, and I'll have them for next time, and I can show you what they did look like before I, worked on them some more. So anyway, my first progress is the trees and me. The trees and me. X's and O's. I've talked about this one, the origin, whatever. So it is, I'm positive it's going to go quicker than it has up to this point, because this tree and leaves and branches, I'm not done with the branches yet, is so like 2 stitches of this and 2 stitches of that, and it just took forever. But the tree is done and a fair amount of the branches, and I'm pretty sure that little boy will be quick. So here it is in its loveliness. I've turned the page and I'm starting branches that are over on the other page. So I have to see what's down there that looks funny. Oh, it's just a piece of fuzz. Oh, there's a needle in there too, but that wasn't what was showing. So there it is on its lovely, oh shoot, I know the fabric. Summer Skies, I think. I have it on a little piece of paper in the thread box. I've mentioned it before, and we'll mention it again if I get it wrong here today. It's very soft and subtle, even weave. Picture This Plus, I'm pretty sure. My favorites. So there's that, coming along. And then I haven't worked a whole lot on this. This was my little piece that I just picked up randomly to give a little try on a piece of mellow 36 count linen to see how it was going to work out. That's all I've done, which isn't a whole heck of a lot from where I showed it last time. I did get the red in there and the word joy, and I see some cat hair. There's cat hair in everything I do. Ugh, every time I sew, somebody comes on my lap. And so it's cute. It was, like I said, my little tester for 36 count mellow linen to see how I was going to like it, to see if it was going to work for Let Freedom Ring, and it's going to do okay. And here's what I'm not showing you. I'm trying to hide this. Look at that. What is that you say? Looks like pencil, right? It's not. This morning, and I know better than to do this, and I heard Vanna yelling at me after this happened. I was pressing it to show you, and I work in hand, so I work like this. I roll it up on the side, and that's how I work wherever I'm going to work. So this morning when I was pressing it, I do know face down and all that, I was having trouble getting this wrinkle out because it's curled in. So I flipped it over and I pressed this side, and look at my iron spit at it. I'm sure it's going to wash out, or I'm going to stitch over it, or I'm going to scream, or I don't know. I have yet to wet it and see. I iron all the time. I iron clothes, I iron shirts. Where did that come from and why is it there? It did, my iron. So anyway, I was looking at the picture trying to decide if it was far enough out of the picture. It's maybe going to be under one of these ornaments. I don't know, we'll see. It's the way it works out sometimes. I'm holding back on my finish. It's not finally fit. You know what I mean? It's not in a frame or anything, but I had this little piece that I didn't show. Well, okay, back up the train. There's a lot of backing up this morning. That MIA video that I had to recreate, I showed it then, but I don't think I even still told the whole story. I'm ready to tell the whole story now. It's funny. I watched Brian Blitzstitch, and he did the funniest thing the other day. It actually made me laugh out loud when I was watching his videos. He inserted a clip of himself from about December, January, talking about what his plans were for the new year, and he went on about all the things he was going to do. So he showed us that clip And then he came back on and he said that guy didn't know what he was talking about. And I just laughed out loud because we all make these plans in our head. We change them because that's what fits. And we don't really have to tell anybody because we didn't really tell anybody what we were going to do. Now we're like telling everybody what we're going to do. And then we have to backpedal and then we have to explain ourselves and then we have to make excuses and then we have to tell y'all why we didn't do what we said we were going to do. So what I was going to do, Stitch Mania, I came into watching videos around when Stitch Mania was being played out, or the people I started watching had talked a lot about what their Stitch Mania projects were from May of last year, 2016. I should say today, see, I never know the date. This is the beauty of my life. Today is April 24th, 2017. A few days shy of my oldest daughter's 26th birthday, which just blows me away. I had her when I was 27, so you can do that math, but it just makes me freak out that my own daughter is almost as old as I was when I had her. I wasn't all that young, but 27, whatever. So that is always exciting. April's an exciting month around here, and May. So anyway, I wasn't going to do Stitch Mania where you start 31 projects or anything like that because that would just make me a crazy person. What I was going to do, because May is also my anniversary month, I was going to do something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. That was going to be my May, and that was before Let Freedom Ring came into this world, which is really what upset the cart. And me and the trees and me was going to be my blue, and this piece that I'm holding and not showing you was going to be my borrowed. But before Let Freedom Ring really came along, I already had jumped off the ship because I borrowed this Prairie Schooler Santa. It's the 1999 Gingerbread Santa, I think is its name. I borrowed it, so I've returned the pattern. And I was in Florida. I borrowed it from my friend down there, and I was stitching on the Christmas Eve piece, which needs my iPad and is kind of intense. And I got to the point where I just needed a little break. So in the evenings, while the news was on, just an hour each evening until I got it done, I was working on this because it's really the only other thing I had. It's the first ever Prairie Schooler Santa I've done. I love them when I see them done. I don't love them when I see them in the pattern, which has been a lifelong problem with me and Prairie Schooler. I look at the pattern and it just doesn't do anything for me. Then I see it done or I see the real colors, whole different ballgame. So anyway, I stitched this. It's not finished, but it is a finish that I finished. I don't even think I put my initials on it. I finished it back in February. So anyway, I did that and it came out lovely. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I didn't send it to Vonda when I sent her things. I have some skills. I don't know. I had to pick things and it wasn't one of them. So anyway, my real reason for today's video, there's cat hair, is I finished. It was the night before Christmas. Oh, I was going to bring something. I forgot. Sorry. I forgot I was going to show you something. We'll see. I don't think I can pause this. I don't know. Here it is. There it is. The outlining was so intense. Last night I put it down. Oh my. It was intense. But it was a lot of white stitching. There's a little white outlining. That's what took it all up. So there it is. It's so cute. This is the thing I forgot I was going to bring to show you. A little known fact about Pam from Stitching Between the Lines is I collect antique 'Twas the Night Before Christmas books. My favorite book from childhood. Love it. When my kids we have numerous, what would have been new editions when the kids were little. I have numerous. I don't even know how many. And then I've started to collect them at antique stores. And my ultimate goal was to find the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas that I grew up with. It was a beautiful book with beautiful artwork, and with my mother's help, I have found it. I'm gonna get it. It's in this room. Hold on. Sorry, that quick. It was on the bookshelf. This is the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas when I was a child. It was published in 1960, and I just remember. I wondered when I started going to antique stores and always looking in the books and in the children's books, and especially at Christmas time, and I have some lovely antique versions, very old from the 30s and 40s. Sorry, this is the invoice that fell out, not a page. I wondered if I would be able to, if I would recognize it, but the absolute minute I saw it, I knew the artwork. I knew. I used to sit and study the artwork in this book, and the man, and the Santa. Let me just find a picture. Seriously, there's not a single picture in here that's not familiar to me. Watching, watching that man peek around at Santa as he came down the chimney. So anyway, I have my book. I have the book I was ultimately looking for. And it wasn't even terribly expensive for being an old book. I'm not going to tell you, but I paid a fair amount for some of them. Not over the moon or anything. But anyway, there it is. Here's my piece. It's all very exciting and delightful. Makes me happy. So the question is am I done shopping for old editions of Twas the Night Before Christmas? I'm not really sure. I make no guarantees. You never know. I might be satisfied. You never know. And then today I was doing some spring cleaning, and I was up on a ladder in the kitchen cleaning the ceiling fan. Don't even go there. And some other things. And I have stuff all up on my kitchen over the cupboards, lots of baskets and antique kitchen things and just stuff. And I have a lot of cross stitch mounted on the wall up there. And so this morning when I was up there cleaning, I saw these pieces, which are always my favorites, and I thought I would get them down to show you. This is the thing. I hunted all over Prairie Schoolers' webs, or like for images of Prairie Schooler patterns, because I really thought it was. But you guys probably look at this and laugh at me and know right away who the designer is. But this one, there were 2 trees. I'll tell you in a minute what it was called. I did it in 95. There's my date. And so this was the apple tree. It was an apple tree and a peach tree. I had them framed exactly the same. And they're done on Ada. This was 1995. I only had 2 kids at that time. So there's apples and peaches. And then there was a little freebie in the pattern called pumpkin pie. So apples, peaches, pumpkin pie. And I have always just loved these. Had them framed. It's the same color wood, but this one's in a much smaller frame that fits the small style of it. But it's an As Told in a Garden, which I'm sure you guys all know already. And it was called Under the Orchard, but I always remembered that it was apples, peaches, and that pumpkin pie was the bonus. So that I thought was kind of cute and fun. And there it is. And before I take the ladder out of the kitchen, I will put those back up there. So it's done. So that really is it. I've been stitching only these couple things, mostly obviously the Christmas one and the trees and me, and not really on this. I might though, after I finish the Twas the Night Before Christmas. I need a little bit of a breather before I pick up Let Freedom Ring, which is what's coming next in my main stitching chair in the basement. And I'm looking forward to it. I've had trouble getting the threads. Isn't that weird? All the overdyes. I had 1 or 2. I needed 4 more. And I didn't get them right away because I knew I wasn't starting it right away. One store didn't have them, and then another store did, and then it didn't when I was ready to order. So down Sunshine Lane. So I emailed Amy and said, "What's up? Are these threads coming?" And she said, "Yeah, they'd be in." And she got 3 of the 4, so I got those 3, and I'm still missing 1. I actually have some of that one, but it's not a whole skein, and I don't know how much I need, so I might start it anyway. I'm traveling to Las Vegas soon. Well, I'm going somewhere else, and we're spending a day in Las Vegas, and I'm going to the cross stitch store, so I'm optimistic that store will have some freedom by Gentle Arts. So anyway, there we go. I'm over 15 minutes. Not even going to tell you what is the methodology of today's videoing and or how it's going to get uploaded, because it might fail and I might be making this again. You never know. Bye.